I'm gonna show this to my therapist and she's gonna be like, interesting.
Hey, listen.
Hello everybody, welcome back, or welcome to my channel. My name is Shak and today I am in my spinny chair again. My spinny chair again. Which means one thing and one thing only, that we are going to be doing some more tier ranking. So why don't we just go ahead and get into it. Today we're going to be tier ranking some romance book tropes, which I'm super duper excited to do. I have seen an abundance of people do this, but I mostly got this idea from Read with Cindy. So I'll leave their video down below so you can go and see where I got inspiration from. But essentially what we're going to be doing is we're going to be categorizing each of these romance book tropes. I'm sure there's more than these, but these ones in particular, into my tier list, into best to worst, essentially. As you can see, there are certain tier lists in this video that we will be sorting the tropes into. I've come up with these myself, and I'm sorry that some of them are quite like, ew, why would you even say that? I don't even care, it's my tier ranking list video, so. The first one we have is, I'd rather shit in my book and close it. So if a trope is in this category, it normally is because I absolutely hate reading books in that particular trope. Second of all, we've got yuck yuck no thanks. I think that's pretty self-explanatory, I just don't like reading about it. And then we also have, I'm not okay with being okay with this. And then we also have, give it to me! And then if it's not included, I don't want to read books ever again. So that is just the way it has to be, I guess. So those are the tiers that I'm going to be ranking each of the tropes into, and I'm really excited, so let's just go ahead and jump right in. Okay, so the first trope that we have on this list is abduction to love. And I'm going to go straight away for abduction to love and put it in yuck yuck no thanks, because although I wouldn't shit in my book and close it, I would probably just carefully close the page and wonder at the author's life decisions. That's probably what I would do. Next we have age gap. I'm probably going to say I'm not okay with being okay with this, even though I am okay with being okay with this. An age gap isn't too much of a deal. It just depends on what the author does with it. So for example, Fledgling by Octavia E. Butler, it was too much reference to like her youth and innocence and stuff. It depends what kind of context the age gap is, and obviously how wide the age gap is as well. So all dependent on like variables, but I'm going to say I'm not okay with being okay with this for now. Next we have amnesia. I'm probably gonna go with, again, yuck yuck no thanks, because I find the amnesia trope to be like quite boring. If you don't have any memory of what's going on, then I'm probably not gonna be very interested. Next trope we have is angst, and I'm probably gonna have to go with, if this is included in my book, I don't wanna pick up a book ever again or read ever again, because angst makes relationships in literature that little bit more, you know, finessed, you know, chef's kiss. I want to see some like angst, and I want to see some conflicts. I don't want them just to be living happily ever after, excuse me. There has to be at least a little bit. Next we have arranged marriage, and I'm probably going to go with, so I don't know how I would feel about an actual arranged marriage, but when Dimple Met Rishi, I actually didn't mind it. So I'm probably gonna go with, I'm not okay with being okay with this, even though I kind of am. Again, I think with the age gap as well, it depends on the context, and it depends what the author does with the arranged marriage. Next we've got bad boy, good girl, and I'd literally rather shit in my book and close it than read a bad boy, good girl book. I've read one. Never again. That one is way too many. That is one too fucking many. Next we have banter, and I'm gonna go ahead and put this with angst right at the top, because if your characters don't have banter, then why are they together? Like, I need humor. I need to be laughing out loud. I need to be laughing the way that Talia Hibbert makes me laugh, you know? Next we have BDSM, and I love how in this tier ranking list, the two characters are two fluffy animals. So it looks so wholesome and sweet, but it's like BDSM. I'm probably gonna go with yuck yuck no thanks, because I just feel like I'm a soft vanilla bean. Well, not 100% vanilla, but this is not what this video is about. I feel like I'm just this person who doesn't really like reading about sex too much. I get really embarrassed and flustered, and I'm like, oh my god. I think another one of these tropes, yeah, further down, is porn without plot, which I know where that's exactly gonna go. BDSM is in that category for me. Like, I just don't. Nah, I'm okay without it, you know. I'd rather have like a fully developed like plot with like romance and, you know, the build up, rather than just like slapping each other with whips and shit. It just seems like so much work to visualize, and I'm like, well, I'm visualizing BDSM. Next we got best friend's brother. Maybe I like it in fiction. To be honest, I haven't really read that much of best friend's brother. I think brother's best friend is best. Like, I'm not okay with being okay with this, just because I haven't read a ton about it, like age gap, arranged marriage, and best friend's brother, but the idea of it is nice depending on like the context and what the author does with it. So I think that makes a lot of sense. Next, someone makes a bet. I fucking hate this in fiction. I hate when people make bets. I bet that you won't fall in love with me. Looking at you, beautiful disaster. Looking at fucking you. I find it incredibly dumb. I think it's a very lazy plot device where like, let's make a bet. I don't care. I don't care. Next we have billionaire. I'm also pretty neutral about the billionaire trope because I haven't read that much about billionaires, but I'd be okay with it depending on the context. Like imagine if you had like a billionaire storyline, like a daddy, what's his name? Daddy, it's not Daddy V-Bucks. What's his name? That's Fortnite. Daddy Warbucks, there you go, it's not V-Bucks, it's not V-Bucks, it's Warbucks. If you have someone like him, and then like someone who's like his mistress, that could be good. Depending on the context, Drunken hookup, enemies to lovers. I am probably gonna say, it depends, but I'm gonna say give it to me. Give it to me. Sometimes I think people mistake abuse to lovers for enemies to lovers, where the characters are just unnecessarily mean to each other. I feel like if there's a reason for them to dislike, I think I prefer dislike to lovers. I think it's part of enemies to lovers though, it's like dislike to lovers. So for example, Get a Life Chloe Brown. I feel like that's a very tame version of enemies to lovers, but give it to me anyway. Give it to me. Also, the tension between Tessa and Will in the Infernal Devices would also be classed as enemies to lovers, and I am just, that is my shit, so give it to me. Next, we've got fairy tale, and I'm not really sure what that is supposed to mean. I'm probably gonna say I'm pretty neutral about this because although fairy tales aren't my jam, they're pretty cute. They're good for kids, ain't they? I don't fucking know if that's what I'm actually talking about. Fake relationship, let's go right to the fucking top. If this is included, I don't want to ever read a fucking again. Speaking of Get a Life Chloe Brown, I just read Take a Hint Danny Brown, and this is one of the main tropes in that story. We follow Danica and Zaf, and they're in like this fake dating relationship so that he can have publicity for his thing. And I was just in awe of both of these characters. And like Lara Jean and Peter Kavinsky, give me all of them. Also Friends with Benefits and Friends to Lovers. Give me Friends Falling in Love, alright? Give me Friends Falling in Love, I fucking love it. Next is Forbidden Love. What does this mean? Does Forbidden Love mean like teacher? Is that on here? Teacher, whatever? I don't actually know. A teacher student, is that something that's included in this? Because I don't like that. I think that's really weird. As someone who respects teachers so much and had like so many good relationships with her teachers, like that is weird to me. So fucking weird how people fancy teachers and have sex with them. It's so fucking strange. Queer Forbidden Love? Oh bitch. Oh bitch. Like so Husband and Evelyn Hugo. The Time War, this is how we use the Time War. I loved that because of that trope. Like if it's queer and Forbidden Love, maybe. If it's like straight cis nonsense that like promotes paedophilia, no thank you. So I think I'm gonna go give it to me on that grounds, like queer Forbidden Love, but ignoring all of the stuff that makes me ick. Next we've got foreign romance, and I would be okay with it. Not really a trope that I'd be like ugh or yay, but it's fine, it's cool. Next we got Friends to Lovers, it is on here. We're gonna go with this straight to the top with fake dating relationship, which is why I absolutely loved like 12 Boys Love Before, and also Get a Hint Danny Brown. Get a Hint Danny Brown. I've like mixed them both together. Take a Hint Danny Brown is because they both follow like the same like fake dating friends to lovers relationship. I like friends to lovers and like second chance romance more than enemies to lovers, which is a very hot take, and I don't care what you think, but I'm a soft vanilla bean and I like fluff. I like romance. You know, hating each other so much they want to fuck each other just is a bit weird, but still give it to me because in some scenarios it's nice. Next we got hate sex, and I'm probably gonna go yuck yuck no thanks, because again this whole like hate fucking or having so much passion for someone when you hate them that you want to have sex with them is just kind of like a little bit weird to me. If you like it, that's cool. If it's your cup of tea, then fine. If it flicks your bean, then that's fine. I don't know why I just said that. If you like it, that is chill. But for me, sex is something that's very like meaningful to me, and so I can't imagine wanting to fuck someone because I hate them. It just doesn't compute in my head. I'm just like, the wires are like blah, blah, blah. Next is huddling for warmth, and I'm gonna go with give it to me because oh my freaking god. I know I keep talking about Take a Hint Danny Brown, but it is because I just finished it, and it is because I just gave it 5 stars. But when Zaf and Danica, like, they're huddling for warmth, it is so cute and so intimate. Just cuddling, dude. Cuddling is my jam. So people are like, I like them when they're fucking and they hate each other and when they're shitting each other's eyeballs, and I'm like, I like when they cuddle. Next we have human and vampire, and this is also probably gonna go up there in give it to me because I love the dynamic between humans and vampires. I also love, I'm not sure if it's like on here, I also love where it's like someone who's gonna live forever and someone who's gonna die. Oh, the tension, dudes. That's why it's in give it to me, because give it to me. Next is hurt comfort. Oh, we're going all the way to the top. You can see how much of a soft bean I am by the top. The fucking top fucking tropes are angst, banter, fake relationship, friends, lovers, and hurt comfort. I'm gonna show this to my therapist and she's gonna be like, interesting. Next we've got insta love. I'm probably gonna go with yuck yuck no thanks because I love a good slow burn. Although I am quite an impatient person and I do like the occasional insta love. Again, it kind of just depends on the context. Maybe I should move it to I'm okay. Okay, no, I'm gonna move it to one tier up because I feel like a lot of the romance that I read, especially in the YA category, does have some sort of insta love, but that's because of the genre and stuff. And I'm quite impatient sometimes, but I do like a good slow burn, I'm not gonna lie. Next is loss of virginity, and I'd rather shit in my book and close it than read a book about losing of virginity. I would rather die. I think number one is because, you know, my virginity is long gone. She's left the fucking building, like Elvis Presley. She's not, wait, no, Elvis is in the building. Unlike Elvis, my virginity is not in the building. It left. It got a taxi and Uber somewhere else. I don't know what I'm talking about. I am not in that age group where I'm like, oh, my virginity, you know, and I also don't really give a shit. Like, I think that virginity is such a fabricated social construct. It just doesn't exist. Like, virginity is fake. And it's just something to make young girls, or young people in general, like young children, feel like they have something special to give. I just don't believe in the concept of virginity. I think it's something that oppresses women and makes them seem younger and pure. It just is, it gives me the ick, alright? And I just don't want to hear it in my fiction. I just don't want to see it. Next we have love triangle, and I'm going to put it in give it to me. Now, I know that a lot of people, including myself, don't normally like love triangles, but as soon as I read the Infernal Devices and other love triangles in the same series and other love triangles in general, I really liked them. I think it is dependent on the author and the people in the love triangle, etc, etc, and how well it's done, and if I feel like all the characters are getting enough attention, I feel like that is okay. If it's like borderline cheating, like, no. If it's more like polyamorous and an open kind of relationship, no one's exclusive, nobody, like, it's very up in the air, there's miscommunications, like, that is my shit. But if it's like cheating and it's a bit, it depends on the context, but still give it to me. Next is mistaken identity, and I'm probably gonna say yuck yuck no thanks, just because I don't actually know. I don't know what this means. Does it mean like fraud? Does it mean like identity theft? It's weird. It just is weird to me. I'm just gonna put that in yuck yuck no thanks, just because I just got the ick from that. I really did. Next is mutual pining. This is gonna go straight up to, if this isn't included in fiction, I don't want to read it ever again. I feel like mutual pining for me is, again, one of those soft bean tropes that I really admire and adore in fiction. Is I like consent, I like comfort, and I just like when couples are just like, you know, they're really like emotionally invested in each other and just love each other and are vulnerable, and I just love that so fucking much. And I feel like also with the mutual pining, I like a little bit of miscommunication, just a smidge, where it's like they won't communicate at first and then they communicate at the end and it's all good and all happy and it's all rainbows. But I like a little bit of miscommunication where they're like, are they mutually pining over me? And like they're both mutually pining. We get both of the points of views and it's just chef's kiss. It's great. One of them is famous. I guess neutral again, because I feel like, again, it is dependent on the author and how the story is done. So for example, if it's more like fan fiction, then probably no, yuck yuck no thanks. But I feel like if they're like an ex-celebrity, like in Take a Hint, Danny Brown, I don't mind that, but it is dependent on like the context and stuff, so I'm gonna put it in neutral for now. Next we got Out For You. Honestly, I have no idea. I've tried to Google this and it just doesn't come up with anything that I'm looking for. I'm just gonna leave it. I'm not sure what it means. I don't wanna, like, you know, put in like, give it to me and it's like criminal stuff or something. Speaking of, partners in crime. I don't know, again, what that specifically means. I also don't really know what Playboy means either. There's a lot of things in here that I just don't understand. I'm probably gonna say I'm okay with this. I don't even know what it means really. For me, like, partners in crime would be like, you know, you're my partner in crime, but maybe it's not that. I don't know what it means, okay? Playboy, I don't know what that means. I know what pregnancy means, and I would rather shit in my book and close it than read about pregnancy. I'm gonna be completely honest with you. And the same goes for porn without plot. I'd rather shit in my book and close it. Next is First Renewed Love. I'm okay with this. It's just the fact that, again, depending on like context and things, I feel like I'm not into like the first love trope, as in like two characters and you see them in real time being each other's first loves. I kind of like when it's been like years and years and years and they go back and they're still each other's first love. That's kind of like what I mean. Oh wait, no, there's second chances here. I'm gonna put second chance love in Give It To Me, I'm guessing we need first love is the same. I don't know. I'm gonna just keep it there. I stick to what I say, alright? Next is secret relationship. I'm probably gonna go with Give It To Me, in the same sense of like forbidden love. Like, it depends on the context. But if it's like queer secret relationship, yes, please give it to me. Next is sharing a bed. I'm gonna say Give It To Me. That trope where they're like, there's only one bed. Low-key, I love it. Like, I low-key love it. No matter how cliche it is or overdone it is, I love it. Especially if it's queer. If it's queer, yes. Next is sleepover. Again, it kind of depends on the context. So for example, in Take a Hint, Danny Brown, I know I keep going on about it, but it's okay. One of Danny's rules in this like fake dating friends benefit scenario is that they can't sleep in the same bed together. And then when they finally do, oh bitch, it is so good. Next is slow burn. I'm gonna probably say Give It To Me because I prefer slow burn over most things, but I don't mind in slow. I think it's okay. Next, we've got soulmates. I'm gonna say Give It To Me. Again, I'm a little fluff. I just love the swoon-worthy romance. They're just destined to be together. Like, we're destined to find each other, and it doesn't have to always end happily, but I love it. I generally love the idea of soulmates. I think it's really nice. Next, we've got unhappy ending. I'm gonna say again, Give It To Me. I love having my heart ripped out by books. I fucking love it. If my heart isn't ripped out, then I kind of don't want to read it. Do you know what I mean? Obviously, I prefer a happy ending, but unhappy ones, I think they are more clever than more clever than happy endings because they take more thought, they take more, you know, risk, and I just like having my heart ripped out by media. That's all I'm gonna say. Next, we've got unrequited love. I'm gonna go yuck yuck no thanks because I prefer when there's mutual consent and stuff, and I don't really know how I feel about unrequited love. I think it just makes me kind of sad. Next, we've got worthy opponents, and I'm gonna say Give It To Me. I know, right, that I said I don't like enemies to lovers or anything like too raunchy. I mean, it isn't Give It To Me, but you know, I prefer soft things and I prefer tame enemies to lovers, right? I'll have you know. But like worthy opponents, bitch. I would class Tessa and Will to be kind of in the worthy opponents trope because he's witty, but she like gets his humor and like can give a piece of his own medicine kind of thing. And I feel like I really like that in fiction when they're the two main characters in a romance or anything like that. I love when they can be like mutual. I just like mutual stuff, consent, mutual, worthy opponents, like on the same level, you know? And I think that kind of like goes into that, and I think there's like psychology behind that, but I don't understand. There you go. They're all the things I love and hate in fictional romance relationships, fictional books in general, all the tropes that I love, all the tropes that I hate. Give this video a massive thumbs up if you enjoyed. Let me know what your particular preferences are, if you agree with me, or if you like some things I don't like. Thank you so much for watching this. I really hope that you enjoyed it. Give it a thumbs up if you did. Let me know what your thoughts are on these tropes, and I will see you next time. Until then, I hope you enjoy any books that you pick up or any productive activity that I manage to do. Outros are really hard. I make it harder for myself every single time, make it very long. But I hope that you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you next time. Goodbye!